Hello and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. In this video, we'll be taking a quick look at the traffic in Santa Clarita, seeing if we can ease that in any way possible, and then we will be looking to start setting up our new machines line pretty close to where we are now in Montgomery. Alright, so here's the area in question for traffic in Santa Clarita. We've been keeping note of this for a little bit as we've done some projects in the area, and I think really what we need to do is we need to be able to split the traffic a little bit more evenly between this road and this road down here. So what I'm hoping is the fix should just be as simple as upgrading this road to be a little bit higher capacity, a little bit faster, so that it draws more people this way instead of coming up on this road. So let's just get in here and we'll start by deleting this road all the way through. And obviously some things are going to have to change. We'll probably have to delete this street entrance. Same on this one, we'll have to delete this entrance as well. And that's just so we can make sure we can get a 4-lane road through here first, and then we can worry about connecting our stations up to it. And so it seems like we do have space. However, I think this building is going to have to go for the moment. We'll place it back down once we get our road in here, but I do believe that this space is just wide enough to allow a road to come in here as soon as we can figure out the exact spot we can place this. Alright, so now we have our road connection in here. It's a little bit straighter, a little bit cleaner. Getting things to fit in here is going to be a little tricky, however, but we'll still see what we can do if we just grab a simple cargo harbor and see if we can maybe fit this back in. And so it looks like this will still work. I don't think it looks too terrible. We'll just have to clean up some of the edges around here. But other than that, I think this area will be just fine to leave it as is. Alright, and so that's this area pretty much put back together. It's nothing really too crazy. It was really just putting some fences around things and cleaning up edges. So hopefully this will see our traffic split a little more as it comes down this road. And I think we'll just leave this here. Now there are some other quick things that we can do to help prioritize this road. And that's going to pretty much just be straightening out these segments of road so that we have more direct lines between different areas of the city. So we can do something like that. And really I think that's the only one, because then that connects here, and this is where all of our other traffic goes to. Alright, so anyway, moving on from here, let's get into talking about our new machines line that'll probably take place somewhere over here. And so taking a look around this area, we already established before that we can get our planks for the machines from this sawmill. All we would have to do is connect up this forest over to this area, and then really we just need to figure out the steel end of the line. And I think one thing we will do is we'll use this coal mine. We'll place down another coal mine in here so we can get all the coal demand that we need coming from one area, and then we'll have to find an iron mine location that we like, that we can do something similar with. And so I think we'll use this iron ore mine. We might move it and rotate it so it's in a little bit better position, because with it being so close to the water, doing any detailing with landscaping is going to be a little hard because it'll just fill in with water. So we'll probably move it up this hill a tiny bit. We'll get a second iron ore mine in there, and then from there we'll just need to choose one of these steel mills that we'll use for creating the steel. And then from there, it's figuring out the location that we want for our machines factory, since there's not a machines factory over in this area at all, so we'll have to build our own. And so I think somewhere along this coastline here will probably be our best bet. However, in terms of getting it to the cargo hub, I'm not too sure how we're going to go about doing that. Now we have multiple options to go by road, boat, or train. However, if we go by road, we'll probably have to end up driving through Santa Clarita or coming over to this bridge and then taking a very roundabout way to get to the cargo hub. And I think that'll just require an absurd amount of trucks over such a long distance, it won't be worth it. Then our next option is by train, which almost seems the most likely. However, we don't really have any good existing rail infrastructure in this area to connect to. The closest thing we have is this area over here, but I think this area is already busy enough between the steel and the machines trains coming through this intersection. I don't really want to create more chaos with this underground connection system. And then of course this line here is probably way too high for us to reasonably reach from the coast over here. So then that leaves us with our last option, which is using more boats, which if we come over here you can see we have quite a few boats coming in and out of the cargo hub area, and I think we're starting to push our limit on how many boats would reasonably look good on a map like this. However, boats would be pretty easy to bring resources into here. However, there is one more option where we can just plop down a second machines factory industry in this area, so we end up with sort of one large sort of industrial complex that makes machines, and that allows us to use our existing infrastructure to take it back to the cargo hub, which that idea I might be more inclined to roll with just because of there's not really much room to add more infrastructure in this area, so using what we have would probably be best. However, we probably won't get to the end product in this video, so leave some comments to what you think would be best, but I'm thinking in my head most likely we'll just add another industry here and we'll have to provide for it somehow, probably by road. So first let's get started on this sawmill, as we already have most of it set up. We have this forest here and this sawmill set up, so really we just need to come over to this forest, and I think we'll bring it over by truck. I don't see a reason to add a harbor here just for a boat to slowly move along the river, so we'll go by truck and see how that goes. So we'll need to connect these roads, which we will just follow along here. Now unfortunately this plank or sawmill is sort of in the way, so we'll have to go around it and then connect up to this road. And so we already have our existing road coming over to the sawmill, so there's nothing more that we need to do there. We just need to set up this forest and then we'll be good to go. Alright, so here's just a look at our finished forest industry now. We used this truck station. It's new, we haven't really used it before, but I think it kind of fits here, so we'll try it out. And then we just sort of added a little extension over to this area, so I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I think we might just paint in trees and connect these two patches of trees, but other than that, that should be our sawmill line set up now. So now as for our coal and iron industries, I think we'll leave this coal mine here. The only thing we have to worry about is figuring out where we want the other one, because we do want it to be close enough so that they both can be connected to the same truck station. So I think we'll try to line it up somewhere along this way. And so I think we'll go with this. I'm not entirely sold on the orientation here, but I think maybe with some detailing we can blend these together really well and get a really nice looking coal mine complex area. And then over here, as for the iron mines, let's delete that road, grab the iron mine, and we'll get one sort of put right about here, and then maybe another one slightly farther back down around here. And then we'll just have to smooth out the landscaping so that this looks more natural. And so this will be what the iron ore mines look like. I think this is a good spot for them. These will probably have to truck to the coast where we'll send them by boat. Same thing with the coal mines over here. We'll probably truck them out to the edge of the river and then take them across by boat. And so then we have to come to the conclusion of which steel mill we want to use. I kind of like the idea of using this steel mill here. We'll just have to move it so it's not clipping into the landscape quite as hard like this is. And then also so we can get a nice port connection somewhere in this area. So we'll start out by just deleting this and the road that's with it. We'll find a spot for it, and then we can start connecting all of this up. So this seems to be a nice spot here. Let's get our road connections all made. So we'll upgrade this to be a normal road. We'll extend this to come straight out like this. So then we'll end up with a road something like that. And for here, I'm thinking we turn this road and follow the edge of the industry this way, like so. And then over here's where our port could be. So now we'll get this placed sort of all the way at the end of the road here. And then we'll have to bring the landscaping, or at least flatten it, so that this whole coastline looks natural. And I think I'm pretty happy with this. We'll have our planks coming in by truck, and then our oars coming in by boat. And then I'm thinking what we might do is just extend these docks out a little bit more. Although it looks like we're having some issue here with the water, but let's just flatten this out. Alright, and so this will be this port harbor here. We can smooth out the terrain, fix this up a little bit, and I think this will provide a nice large area for everything to sort of come into and really help fill out this little plot of land that we have here for the steel mill. So then over here we will also need a truck station. Alright, so then this will be our truck station. I don't think it looks too terrible. I think it's sort of lined up pretty well here. So we'll leave that. And then this area here and this area over here we can leave for detailing. And really that should be it for everything getting connected to the steel mill. So then next let's get our ores connected up. So let's start out with these coal mines. I think we'll want to keep this road, and then we'll have to come back and somehow connect these roads together. So I think a road like that will work out. Alright, so this will be our truck station for these two coal mines. Now we just have to get this road out of here and popped out somewhere in this area. So I think first let's delete this oil well, and we'll want to set up our harbor here where the boats will come in and out of. And we'll get this set up right along the edge of the river like so. And we can then use this to determine where our road will come in from. So we'll have this road connected there, and then this road will have to draw out a bit more. I think we'll bring it to there, and then we will curve it out. We'll go straight for a little bit more, and then we'll upgrade to a medium country road, and then this will be what pretty much just brings us out to the other end of this opening. Alright, so now here's our road connection out of here, underground, and popping out over by the river. So then we'll just need a little drop-off area, which I think maybe we could have fit in this area quite nicely if we can get the road to fit. So over here will just be an unload stop, and I think that might work out pretty well here. And then coming over to these iron ore mines, let's connect these up with a street, and I think that looks good enough. And then somewhere in this area we need to get a truck station down, and that area will pretty much go right here, I think. So now we need to pretty much do the same thing. We'll add a little port down here, connect up a road from somewhere along this way, and then that should be all of our connections made for the steel mill. Alright, so now that should be this iron ore mine connected up. I think pretty much what we're going to do now to finish off this episode is we'll place down another machines factory somewhere in this area so that we can still use the same station here. And then we'll set up all of the lines, which should work, and then I think that'll round off this video. And then to start off the next one, or maybe even all of the next video, will be detailing all these areas, making them look good and fit into their natural landscape, and then just verifying that having a machines factory here is where we want to go. Alright, so here's where this machines factory is going to be going for now. Again, if you guys have a better idea of where to place this or a better way to get it to the cargo hub, just leave it in the comments and we'll get back around to fixing that eventually. But now I think our infrastructure is all set up for us to pretty much start bringing all these resources in. So let's start getting our lines set up. I think one thing we'll also do at this steel mill is we'll throw in a road depot at the end of this road, just because we don't have a road depot really in this area of the city at all, or the map, I should say. Alright, so here's where our road depot is going to go. We'll get our plank line started back up again. So we'll start with 10 of these vehicles. Let's paint these to be a nice brown color. And we already have the line set up actually, so we have to just come through here and we'll have to find the line in here. So now those trucks are on their way for that line. We'll need another one to bring logs from the other direction. So out that way we'll get a new line set up that goes from this stop over to the sawmill. And then we'll need a line that brings the planks over, so we'll grab 10 of these trucks, and these will go from the sawmill to the steel mill. So here comes our fleet of trucks heading out to all of their lines. That should be all of them that are connected to this road network. We'll have to temporarily set up a road depot for this line, and same for the iron ore one. But anyway, let's get down here and we'll get a road depot connected to the end of this road. So now we have this road depot. Let's get some trucks for the coal. And so for the coal, I think we'll use these tipper trucks, and we'll be transporting a lot of coal, so I think we'll get 16 of these trucks. And those will go from here to this unload stop. Then we need a road depot somewhere around here as well. So I think we'll pretty much just do the same thing. We'll set up this road depot right by the port. And for this, I think we'll use these trucks here for some variety. And we'll use a little bit less since the distance is somewhat shorter to go from this truck stop. And we actually need to set an unload stop. So temporarily, before we get into detailing, we'll just place that down. But then we can get back to making this connection. And I believe we have a shipyard right here by our oil refinery. So we can come into here, and we actually have some ships in here. I'm not sure why we have these. We'll just sell those. But we'll come in here and look for some good boats to move the coal and iron. Alright, and so I think we'll get just 4 boats on each of these lines, and these will go from here all the way up to the steel mill to there. And then for our iron line, we'll only get 2 of these since it's a significantly shorter trip. So we'll just go from there over to here. And then I believe the last lines that we have to make is our steel mill to the machines factory, and our steel mill to the machines factory, and then we might have set something up wrong here. Yeah, we don't need planks coming to the steel mill. We want this line going up to this truck station here. So then, yeah, the last line we have to set up is our steel line, which will also be these same trucks, and these will only get 8 trucks on. We'll go back through and update the rates on all these lines once the trucks are out and going, but we'll have that connection made, and we'll want to specify we want it to only load steel and then unload everything over this way. And so I think that should be everything connected up and running. I'm going to let this run off camera so that the vehicles can get spread out, resources can start flowing, and we can accurately see the line rates reflected. So then next video we'll come in, we'll adjust the line rates on all these lines, and then we'll come through and detail all of these areas that we haven't gotten to yet. But anyway, I think with that, that's going to be all for this video. So if you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or feedback, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.